Part of Independence Boulevard is closed right now as SWAT is responding to a barricaded suspect. We appreciate you joining us for the news at 11. There's been a lot going on, especially with CMPD tonight. I'm Colin Mayfield. In the last 15 minutes, we're learning a lot of new information about what happened tonight in East Charlotte. And like I said, there are multiple things happening. WCNC Charlotte, Julia Kaufman went straight to the scene. Julie, we appreciate you being there. What have you been able to learn from CMPD right now?
Hey, Colin. So we are on Independence, and the road is still shut down between Village Lake Drive and Sardis Road North. But we do know the scene is being wrapped up. But again, the road is still shut down, and we're waiting for any moment now for a spokesperson from CMPD to give us an update. So whenever he walks over, we will break away so we can bring you that live update straight from the source. But what we know for right now is that a woman has been taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and I believe the major is coming over right now. So I'm going to stop talking so we can hear from him.
Okay, come on up. I know a lot of.
If we could just stand by.
You're right up. They know his spelling. All right, Jen, here he comes. Okay, thank you.
For that updated information here.
Can we get you there?
We'll listen in here from CMPD in just a minute as we get more updates on this situation. We also have another breaking news situation that we've been talking about, but we'll go back to the scene as we were hearing from CMPD right now.
Once they arrived on scene, there were family members nearby, and they were checking the welfare of a female who had not been at work or at school in several days. And once again, this is a very preliminary investigation, so some of these details may change. Once they got up to the apartment, they heard yelling from inside, which heightened their awareness. And then after a short amount of time, one gunshot was heard from inside the apartment. They also knew that there was at least one child inside the apartment, possibly along with the female. At this point, they did an entry, it's called an exigent entry, to check on the welfare of the people inside and to see if anyone needed help or was in danger. Slowly moved into the apartment. One female was observed inside with a firearm in very close proximity. Officers gave commands to the female to stop reaching for a firearm, which she did not comply with. These are very, like I said, once again, preliminary. One CMPD officer that we know of shot. Officers backed out of the apartment and established a perimeter. It was unknown at the time that the female was shot by the officers. SWAT was called in due to the nature that there was now possibly another subject as a hostage inside and at least one armed subject. SWAT quickly made entry to the apartment where one female was found inside with at least one bullet wound and life-threatening injuries. That female has been transported to the hospital. The juvenile child was found, has been checked out by a medic, and has no apparent injuries at this time. Once again, very early in the very preliminary investigation. Officers had a very large perimeter on this, shut down the road. We were very worried about the public, where that initial shot went, had anyone been able to get outside of the apartment, and if anyone was out looking to do more harm. As more information comes about, we'll get it to you all, but that's the information that we have right now. Like I said, we're very happy. One juvenile suspect rescued, and that one female has been transported and hopefully will turn out okay.
Major Thomas, do we know the relationship between any of these individuals?
Nothing that I can confirm right now. I don't want to give the wrong information on that, I'm sorry.
And are we aware of how old that juvenile is?
I believe it's less than 10. I'll go with that. Like I said, you get different birthdays on the scene and very early.
Have you found that bullet that was shot?
The crime scene hasn't even gone in yet.
Okay.
That's like I said, that this is a very fresh scene. I have been preliminarily that a weapon was found inside. Not one of ours. A weapon that matches up to the initial story was found inside.
And did CMPD shoot the woman when responding?
It's conjecture at this time. Let's let the investigation run its course on that. It is unknown if the female had shot herself before officers, that she could have shot herself after. We just don't hear every shot. Like I said, we've got to do our officer-involved investigation now.
Major, with it being such a wide scene in a wide area that was closed down, was there any indication at any point that the person may have gotten out of the apartment?
There's always that chance. Officers go inside the front door. It's an apartment. There's a ledge on the back. When the arriving officers, we're sending help from everywhere, got there. I believe some of the initial was that there was a back window or a back deck open. That's why we put such a large perimeter out, because like I went over earlier, there was the chance that someone had gotten out and that we would have to search for that suspect. That's why large perimeter indicators right now. We have nothing that would indicate that anyone else would be out or that the people involved have not all been found.
To be clear, that female was shot once?
At least once. It's tough to tell. Medic was in a hurry getting her to get some treatment, and officers did provide, I believe, at least one tourniquet and some other life-saving measures on scene until she could get to the medic vehicle.
And she was the only one who was shot?
Yes.